Hello, my name is Rachel Anise, otherwise known as the Beauty Professor. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be covering what I would buy if I, God forbid, lost my makeup bag. And so I'll go through the pieces that I would unmitigatedly repurchase and want back into my possession right away. And then I'll also talk to you about some end of summer, early fall skincare that I'm really enjoying. As to be expected, most of what I'm going to discuss is already on my face or in use, so that will be helpful. And I'll also have swatches of everything that I can, including a brand new foundation launch that I am currently wearing and have been for the last few weeks on Beauty Professor. So hopefully that's super helpful for you. I hope you guys are doing really well. Life for me is fall in full swing. I'm back on campus. I'm teaching in a brand new classroom in a brand new building. I have a fresh office. This has been a building that's been under construction for the last 4 years, and now we as a Department of Communication Studies have a permanent new home on campus, which is really kind of invigorating and energizing, teaching 7 classes and working my way through a host of beauty projects and campaigns, of which I'm always grateful. Joey's 5, she's doing gymnastics, and naturally she continues to be the light of our lives. And I've got some interesting travel coming up in the midst of it all, which I can't wait to share. So that's a little bit about me. I would love to hear what's new with you in the comments. So saying that up front, let's get into the makeup bag talk. First things first, I have a new handbag, recent acquisition. You guys know my brother Seth makes handbags by hand. He designs them and then he crafts them, and they are just next level. This is one of his latest designs. It's so perfect because it's large enough to hold everything, but still small enough to not be too weighty or cumbersome. And I also had him add a long detachable strap so I can crossbody it. It hits me right about there, which is perfect. I like a little bit higher crossbody personally, but he can of course customize it. He will be at his own show in Seal Beach, California. If you're in the area, Southern California area, next weekend, the 9th and 10th at the pier. He has a booth every single year, and he'll have all of his latest bags and creations there. So if you have any questions, let me know. We'll be there helping to support him. It's always a great opportunity to see his stuff in person. Okay, so from this bag, I carry this makeup bag, and this is a cushy bag. It's their smallest bag, and of course in the zebra print. I've shown you guys this before. Lined in pink, has some pockets. If I were to lose this, I have everything below that I would be replenishing. So let's walk through it now. First off, I would be repicking up the SUQQU Foundation. This is the first foundation formula I ever tried from the brand so many years ago, and it is exceptional. A pea-sized amount will give you medium to full coverage. It's flawless. I just want to highlight for you, I applied this is in shade 40, and this is a sample jar, which is one of the reasons why I have swatches of all 24 shades on Beauty Professor. The brand kindly supplied me with some samples so that I could show you swatches in sunlight and shade, and I will make sure to link to those swatches below, because it's hard to find this brand. It's impossible, in fact, to find it in the US. It is available in Europe. Hopefully my swatches will be really helpful as you seek your ideal shade. You'll want to, because this formula is exceptional. You can always ask me for shade guidance, and I will do my best, and I'm pretty familiar with these shades, so I can give you some expert advice. Okay, so back to the foundation. Medium to full coverage, pea-sized amount. I applied this at 8 this morning before Joey's gymnastics class. It has been sweaty and hot today. It's currently 5 p.m. I have not touched it up one time. Didn't set it with powder. I am astounded at how well this works. It has more longevity than the original version. Otherwise, coverage, wear, natural finish, all the same. It is such a special formula, and if you're looking for a cream formula, this is it. A jar will last you your entire life, truly, because you only need a little bit to get maximum payoff. The other foundation that I've been carrying around all the time lately is the Euphoria Date Night Foundation. I have it in a mix of 360 and 330 in this little jar. I always have travel jars with me. The Date Night Foundation comes in a bottle, and I have swatches of all shades of it. on Beauty Professor. Very proud to be the site that has all those swatches, true to life swatches. And this formula has a glass finish on the skin. It's buildable from skin tint all the way to medium full coverage and wears flawlessly all day. It is different than the SUQQU, which is why I wanted to highlight both of them. I think they have different finishes. They also have different textures. This is more of a serum texture, and I love them both and wear them both all week long. Always in my purse is the Agent Couture Holy Oil. This is the travel bottle. I have run through so many bottles of this, but this oil is great as a first base of skincare. It moisturizes and it balances. It's also very nourishing and restorative, healing even, if you will. And so I use it on Joey if she has a cut or an irritation. It's such a beautiful formulation and truly the first product that had me fall in love with the brand, which I have been a fan of for years now. So Holy Oil, this is the travel size, and everything on the site for the most part is 20% off right now. I'll share my code below, but this is always in my purse. I would definitely be picking up a new one if I needed to. I would also be replenishing my Clé de Peau Radiant Concealer. This is the liquid version in the shade Mocha, which I learned from Benjamin Puckey, who is the Global Director of Color for Clé de Peau, that this is the perfect shade for my under eyes. And I don't like a ton of coverage in my under eye. I'm not looking to super brighten things more dramatically than what my foundation looks like. So I have it on right now. I just tap it on as a last step after eye makeup, after eyeshadow, kind of to correct any fallout that might occur. And it sets everything in place and really keeps things looking clean and refreshed. So this is a must for me, and Mocha is what I would consider a medium neutral to olive beige. While on the subject of complexion, technically not in my makeup bag, though in my backup makeup bag is this Clé de Peau Beauté High Coverage Foundation Brush. Actually, I'm washing it tonight, just heads up there, but I've used it all week. And this is a slanted, dense, bristled, ultra soft brush. I get really good coverage with whatever formulation I am using this with, whether it's a cream, a powder, a liquid, and I use it basically daily to stipple things in when I'm not using a beauty blender. I kind of moved away from the blender the last few months of summer, and this brush has been my go-to. It is exceptional. It really takes care of business while leaving your canvas looking super natural and flawless. Of course, I like a lot of different complexion products, but the ones that are in my makeup bag and ultimately in my handbag are as follows. I carry around the Sisley bronzer. This one is well loved. I'm about to hit pan. I feel it every single day. I'm like, ugh, I know I'm gonna hit pan in a moment. Haven't yet, but I'm close. This one is so natural on the skin and valuable, and so many of you have told me you've tried it because you've seen it here and you love it as much as I do. Then I have really been enjoying the Le Métier de Beauté Blush Highlighter Duet. This is in the shade Light Motif, and there is a kind of deep mauve gray brown contour shade. That's how I like to think of it. And then this radiant champagne shade for highlight. Sometimes I mix the two, but often I use this one to sculpt on a really no makeup day. This one on the high points of my face, and it's effortless. Such a pretty combination and very unexpected, not like anything I've seen on the market lately. I always have a code with Le Métier. You guys know I've been a fan for well over a decade, so I will share that with you. It'll always get you your maximum best deal. So whatever is on sale on the site, if you use my code on top of it, you'll get even more, which is incredible. Very grateful. Then there is the Gucci blush. This is in the shade True Pink, which is just that, a true dull baby pink. I reach for it all the time. It is on the apples of my cheeks right now. It's very versatile. It's buildable, but not too pink, and I think it looks great on all complexions. It even shows up on a medium tan olive complexion like mine. I use my Surratt Artistic Cheek Brush, created by Troy Surratt. This is probably my third one, and I have 3 in active rotation. So it's the only brush I really use for powder cheek products, bronzer through blush, and even highlight. And that's what I use to apply all of this. And then the Lawless powder. This is in the shade medium, which is a perfect match for me for the entire year. It's powder that evens the skin tone and even imparts some coverage, but it does not look like powder on the skin. Annie did such a magnificent job on this formulation, and it does come with a sponge below. So if you didn't want to use a fluffy powder brush, which you can use, you can also use a sponge. This is really well loved. The compact looks like it's been through a lot because it's always with me. For brows, I am loving and would immediately repurchase if I lost this, the Make Brow Tint. This is the Infinite Hold Sculpting Brow Tint. Not to be confused with the original brow gel that was launched last year. This one has more hold and I think just a little more bang for your buck, even though the original is lovely as well. This one I apply in the morning, and I put this on so much earlier today, and my brows are just feathery, full. There's lots of depth, and it never flakes off, but everything stays in place all day. This is in one shade, Cool Brown. There's also a clear version, but I really just wear the Cool Brown, which is a nice kind of universal deep taupe for all brow colors. And it comes in this very weighty luxe red tube. I am in love with this. Carrie Barber, you did such a good job with this formulation. It may have replaced my trusty Tom Ford, which you guys know I have bought so many tubes of over the years. This is the first one I've tried in a long time that feels equal to / better than, dare I say it. So Jo Baker is a makeup artist, and we have met at different events in LA over the years. She has a makeup line called Bake Up Beauty, and I hadn't really tried anything from the line, but I saw her Instagram post for the Bake Up Tarantulash, and I was so enthralled. I ordered a tube. I've since ordered 2 more tubes because it's that good. What's nice about this is you can really get a dramatic false lash effect if you do a couple of coats. I have 1 coat on today. That's it. I put it on early this morning, and there's no transfer, there's no smearing, there's no flaking. The longevity is immense, but it's actually pretty easy to get off. So that's why I purchased some backups already. Haven't lost my makeup bag, but have purchased backups of this. For summertime highlighter, I have been reaching for one very consistently, using a bunch, but reaching for one that's made it into my purse. It's this $19.99 cream highlight stick in the shade Miel, which is a warm, kind of a little bit peachy pink champagne tone. I like this because it's very glossy on the skin. You can see it, I think, in the light here. I just put it a little bit in my forehead, high points of my cheeks, a touch down my nose, a touch on my chin, and it stays in place all day. It just wears so beautifully, and I think you just get a nice impact with minimal effort. I'm all about that, especially when it comes to products that make it into my purse. Just have a few eye products here that have been go-tos. One is the Sisley Fido Twist eyeshadow stick in Fawn, which so many of you have told me you love. It is a golden, warm, kind of peachy tone, very subtle, but once you get it on the eyes, you have beautiful impact. A little luminosity, some warmth and depth. It's just one of those that you'd look at it in the tube and go like, that's pretty, but once you put it on the eyes, you're like, wow, this is invaluable. I'm almost out of this one, very sad to say, that's how much I've used it. Also, the Merit cream eyeshadow in Studio. This is a beautiful matte taupe, and this shade I just kind of wear all over the eye. I might top it with something sparkly like I did today. I received it with this brush by Merit, which is called a number 2 brush, and it does have 2 sides. One is a tapered side that is fluffy, you can blend in. I use that most of the time, but I do like that there's a tiny pinpoint side as well if you really wanted to get into your lash line or use it for a eyeliner. I just love this pairing so much, and I think it works with all the other shadows in my rotation, so it's been in my purse. The palette that's made it into my purse is this Clé de Peau Beauté in shade number 7. These are new shadow quads, and I have swatches of most of them on Beauty Professor. I'll make sure to link to it. These are buttery, beautiful, so effortlessly wearable, and they have gorgeous longevity. I get no fallout with these. I get no creasing. And I must highlight this, Benjamin Puckey told me this, I didn't know before. This shade right here, bottom left, is a primer shade. It's got a cream texture, which is different than the powders, and you can use it as a base to build upon, and it adds kind of, it's a slightly tacky base, not tacky even, silky and adherent. That's a better word for it. And then the shadows, this is just a beautiful neutral color story with a little bit of rosy warmth. And you can also use it as a highlighter on the high points of the face. It's such a utilitarian product. And then I'm going to show you, when I get to the skincare part, some other products that are more skincare oriented or aren't in my purse but are in my like secondary makeup bag, which is this well insulated one, to be continued. We'll get to that in a moment. But since we're on the topic of eyeshadow, I feel like it's important for me to show you the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. Wow, this is stellar. This is, I think, and I am a huge devotee to the Glam palette. That is the one palette with all the shades that I find myself reaching for time and again. But this one might have superseded the Glam palette for me. Because there are so many radiant shades, and this one, you guys, is just on another level. The shade is called Muse. Just tapping it in so you can see the immediate light it gives. I've been putting it on top of everything lately, and it doesn't crease. It's one of her newest formulations, in addition to being a new shade, and she has a couple of these shades with this extra liquid light looking effect. But this is a little bit rosier than the Glam palette. There are a few more shimmery or satin finish shades. I've been using a lot of these as well, and the mattes are of course buttery smooth and blendable. I am in love with this palette. Highly recommended. It's not in my purse, but it is always within reach, and I have it on my eyes most days lately. A final eye product that I would hate to lose is this Victoria Beckham Beauty Eye Kohl in the shade Olive. This is not, my friends, an olive green by any stretch of the imagination. I've never seen an olive this color, but it is a beautiful, deep, slightly teal green, and that's why I love it. It has a touch of luminosity, and the wear power is immense. I put just a line, my waterline here, I put it on early this morning, and it's still there. Doesn't smudge, doesn't move. And while these don't purport to be waterproof per se, that's the kind of performance I get from these pencils. The shade without question is the one that I would choose above all. Ash is a close second, however. When it comes to lip products, let's just say the bulk of my purse is devoted to them. Here are some of the ones that are consistently in my bag. And I did pre-swatch them for you to mitigate some of the madness of trying to do that live on camera. But I have some favorites from SUQQU, YSL, La Perla, Clé de Peau Beauté, Too Faced, more Clé de Peau, Monica Blunder, Au Naturel, and Armani. These are the shades that I got a ton of. And here are swatches to, oh gracious, I did that on an angle, but to say that I have a type is no understatement. I'll try to embed swatches on Beauty Professor so you can see them there in a more static way, because I did take pictures as well. So in terms of lip liner, it's been a lot of these three formulas. The Clé de Peau formula is insane. I saw it when I was on set with them last month, and I didn't know that they had re-released the lip liners because I was a fan of the original, but they have. And I have my favorites, which are 1, 3, and 6. 1 is a true neutral pinky beige, 3 is kind of a rosy beige, and 6 is a nice true brown. I actually have the 6 on right now. Been wearing it all day with a lighter color within. If you buy the refillable component, you have the liner which you can pop in and out on one side, and then you have the little brush on the other, so you can get a nice precise application. It's beautiful, and then you can refill these. Also, the Monica Blunder Beauty lip liner in the shade Davy is such a pretty luminous pink, and I'm like almost halfway through this one. I've been wearing it so much. It pairs beautifully with nudes and pinks, and it just has a really soft, kind of cool pink vibe that shows up nicely on the lips and wears in a very creamy, flawless way. And then my Too Faced lip injection in the shade Hot and Spicy. This is probably my 3rd or 4th one of these. I've bought them in multiples. This does really plump up the outer lip line for you and also give you a little tingle. If you're adverse to tingle, go with one of the other ones I've just shared. But I like this one because it's just a nice true neutral that matches everything. For lip color, traditional lipstick, I am still having a love affair. I'm halfway through this Beauty by La Perla shade in Nude Red, which is one of the most opaque nudes I've ever encountered in my life. It's opaque, it's got just the right amount of pink for me, and it lasts all day without feeling dry. It's technically a matte formulation, but I do get kind of just like a natural cream finish on my own lips. And I wear it in so many different ways, layered, alone, makes your lips look so full. It is excellent. And then I have also purchased multiples of this Armani Lip Power in 500 and 503. The 503 is kind of a corally pink, mauvey pink. 500 is a true kind of light pink with a little bit of shimmer. Both are amazing together or alone over a liner, and this formula is creamy, high color payoff, and long lasting. And then my Au Naturel Trench Coat in LA mixture. I wear them together, I wear them alone. I will be a fan of these for life because I created them with the intent of making something I would love. So LA is peachy pink, Trench Coat is more of a pinky nude. Both are just invaluable. I always have these in my purse. And for gloss, 3 glosses. One is this Clé de Peau gloss in Calanthe Orchid. Oh my goodness, this shade is perfection. It's immediately color rich, and it's a true kind of like pinky nude beige. Big surprise. And it's got a super lovely shine, no shimmer, just cream shine. Stays in place all day, makes your lips look so lush. It's amazing. Very flattering across and expansive skin tones. This is the YSL Candy Glaze in shade 2. It's essentially clear, but there is something about this plush, buttery formula that's just slightly viscous, that stays in place on your lips, doesn't move around. I'm probably halfway through this one. One thing about this though, when you crank it up, it's like you can't crank it back down again. So you want to be conservative with how much you use, and don't let it get too hot because it will melt. And then I've been loving this SUQQU lip shade. This is creamy, and it's a part of their limited edition lip kit for their 20th anniversary. I just received it early. It's a peachy pink beige and just creamy and so pretty. I actually have some in the center of my lips today, along with the La Perla, the Clé de Peau shade number 6 in the lip liner, and a little bit of this candy glaze on top. Okay, there's a lot going on here. One of the biggest, I think, concerns I hear about in my beauty professor community when it comes to skincare is something fragrance free or not? And I've learned over the years that not a lot of people like fragrance in their skincare, or even their makeup for that matter. A brand I wanted to show you guys that I've been really enjoying is called Figgy Beauty, and this is completely fragrance free with exemplary high performance natural ingredients, but no essential oils either, which can be very irritating for some complexions. This is great for sensitive skin, for dry skin, and there is a cleansing regimen. There is this gel cleanser, which is refreshing, it's gentle. I use that to just cleanse first thing in the morning or at the end of the day. And then the Purify the Goddess Makeup Dissolving Balm to Oil Cleanser. This texture is so dreamy because it is this thick balm that turns to oil and removes every last bit of everything. Zero fragrance, you guys, and no irritation. It has rooibos, which is a really interesting ingredient. And for day and evening, there are 2 complementary creams. One is the Nurture the Goddess Antioxidant Day Cream, protection and moisture in the daytime. And then there's a Nourish the Goddess Evening Rescue Cream, which helps to just restore the skin at night. If you're looking for a streamlined, minimalist skincare approach that really takes into account a fragrance-free approach, that's excellent for sensitive or dry skin, I need you to consider Figgy Beauty. I'm really happy I discovered it, and I'll continue to recommend it. All right, and to close, I said I would mention some products that are more skincare oriented that I carry in my backup skincare bag. This is a bag from Well Insulated. It truly is insulated. Keeps your skincare and makeup protected because of the insulation. So if it's in a hot car or you're in the midst of travel, you can have the utmost of confidence that your formulations are being well taken care of. I have many of these bags at this point and just reach for them constantly. There's even one in my work bag. So here are some things skincare wise that I carry in this bag, but also have been using a ton of. The Lawless Forget the Filler Cream. It has something called Maxi Skin, like the Maxi Lip, that helps to add volume to your lips. This does the same thing to your whole face. I'm about 1/3 of the way through this cream. I've been using it a lot this summer since its launch in early August, and It's fragrance free, it is lightweight. It also can be used as a makeup primer. That's how lightweight it is, and yet you do get beautiful hydration, and I've really noticed a nice fill-in in fine lines and wrinkles with this one. The clinicals on this are insane. For sunscreen, I have two versions that I grab for and will continue to grab for. One is the Wear Sunny SPF 40. This is lightweight. It is great for all skin types and skin tones. It is lightly tinted, but it shears out, so it has a universal tint, truly universal, with zero white cast. And it's hydrating. It also behaves like a primer for your skin. Gives you a soft focus finish, just really special. The Color Science Flex, I mix medium and tan together. We just came back from the desert, and when I was at the pool all day, I put this all over my face because I get the color and the protection of SPF 50 mineral protection. And the Sunny I want to add is mineral as well, which is essential for me. It's the only way I do sunscreen these days. This is medium and tan, and I hope this will demonstrate. It goes on white. You mix it together. I'm mixing in real time. Whoa, now it's the color of your skin. It's unreal, and you just get the most beautiful kind of like foundation effect, but it stays in place all day. I've got to go wipe my hands now. I'll be right back. All clean now. Okay, for finishing spray, I love the new by Terry. I love the new by Terry Hyaluronic Glow Setting Mist. It has 8 different hyaluronic acid types, and so you get this beautiful glow and moisture, but it also sets, it protects, it keeps your makeup in place. It does it all, and I'll just show you how I like to apply. There we go. I put this on before a 10-hour meeting at school, and it was hot, and I walked around a lot, and I never touched up my makeup. I never had a chance, and I was astounded. I got into the car at the end of the day, exhausted, duly exhausted, and my skin looked exactly the same. It was the first time I tried this, and I thought to myself, wow. As always, Terry knows exactly what she's doing. She is iconic in the beauty industry, and this mist is now in my work bag all the time. I actually had to pull it out to put it in this video. Finally, let's talk feet for a second. This is the Serum Doctor Flawless Feet System. I'm halfway through this bottle. I've been using it since end of May. And then this is the file. This is a part of a set. I received it during a press meeting I had with the founder, Candace, at the Beverly Hills Hotel, where they carry this. They also carry it at Saks. I need to tell you, my feet are so bad. Like when I get a pedicure, I always have to pay for the extra callus removal, and then it doesn't even take care of business. And this has been my entire adult life. It's like hereditary dry heels no matter what I do. They did the pedicure with this system on me. You put this on dry feet, you file with dry feet, then you put the serum on day and night. It's a clean formulation, very lightweight, absorbs instantly, has a little roller ball here. And can I tell you that I've kept up this process? I file maybe once every 2 weeks. I put this on every other day or so, and my feet are completely different. They have transformed. I go to my regular pedicure place now, and they're like, what have you done to your feet? I kid you not. I sound like a commercial, but I am such a believer in this. I've ordered this for anyone I know who deals with dry heels like I do and my family, because it has changed my feet. And I just went for a pedicure last week, and my lady who does it said, like, Rachel, like, really, what is happening here? Your feet have never been like this in the whole time I've known you. And I said, I know, it's Serum Doctor. Simple as that. So this goes with me all the time when I travel. It goes in my well-insulated bag here, and I will be taking it when I travel later this month. And so concludes this what would I repurchase, what would I buy right away if I lost my makeup bag, parenthetically bags, because I know I covered 2 bags here, but hey, I'm a beauty writer, I deal with beauty all week long, and I do think in light of how much product is floating around this house and how much I am grateful to be able to test, this is actually a very tight edit. I assure you, and all these products I've talked about are well tested and well loved. I hope you enjoyed this beauty discussion. I welcome your questions and your comments. I have so much more exciting beauty in the pipeline, and I can't wait to share it with you in the coming days. In the meanwhile, please don't forget to visit me on my Instagram account, which I always make sure to share here at Beauty Professor, and of course at beautyprofessor.com. Wishing you a strong start to fall, and so grateful that you're here. Take care.